All right, welcome, gentlemen. It's time for us to talk Super Eagles quarterfinal, AFCON, Angola, and everything else in between. Divine Tonkeye, is that Tonkeye or Tonkai?
Don't care.
I know. If it was a non-Nigerian name, it definitely would be Tonkai. But if it's as long as it's Nigerian, it's Tonkai. Okay,
Yeah.
and Kingsley Ekene. All right, a few other
Yes,
folks are
sir.
going to be joining us in a bit. Um, so how excited were you guys yesterday? I'm sure now how that's the
Euphoria.
excitement. I don't
Yeah,
like
it's
to use
now.
the word euphoria because Nigerians have abused that word so much that I think it's lost its meaning. So I always try not to use that word anymore. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying the energy, the excitement, the thrill of last night would have come down for you guys a bit. So at least now you can look at it with more, should I say, more of a clear eye. And we've just been joined by Prince. I'm going to add him to the stage. So let's start with Divine. What did you think yesterday?
Um, Good day, everybody. First of all, yesterday was really it wasn't our best performance. I must say it wasn't our best performance. I think we've done way better than that before, especially defensively. Um, but it shows that we're improving game after game. The synergies kind of or the players are getting to understand the system a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the midfield.
Okay.
Um, he will be, I think he got a grip of what he should be doing, not just sitting back, but also making those moves forward. Um, for the defense, there were a couple of times that they went to sleep for a bit, and it was Akon who was alive all through the game and making the necessary clearance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an improvement in some areas, but some areas needs to they need to wake up. But going forward, we're not yet clicking. I think they don't understand their movements yet. They don't know. They've not been able to read each other's game for now. Lukman, Simon, Osime, even Aino and Zaidu. I don't even talk about Zaidu for now, but
Mm-hmm.
that attack needs to they need to understand themselves a bit. I don't know what they need to do in training, but they need to work on their understanding and their movements and how who is moving when, how we're moving, who is sitting back further down to go forward, who is making that pass, where you running into stuff like that. You need to sit down and you know talk about it. I think once we can get that in order from back to the front, we're good. Then this guy, what's his name, Wabali, was something else. It was really something else. I love his confidence and how he he's not just. I believe part of the reason why our defense is the way it is right now, it's because Wabali is a very good communicator. I
Mm-hmm.
want to believe that he communicates very well and help them at the back three stay in shape. And he has
Okay.
this way of his confidence more or less, well, let's say, oppresses the opponents. He just he's doing what Emiliano Martinez did in the World Cup, something of that nature, bringing
Okay.
that confidence from the
So
back,
so
not
so
just with the
so so,
performance
so
alone.
let me just interject a little bit. Nigeria Angola games have never been easy. If you go back all the way to, I think we've met them like what, nine times or so, and those games have almost always been decided by one goal. You
True,
know,
true that.
I mean, and I'm talking when we had some of our most legendary players. The game that we played in Lagos, where Samuel Paraji died, it was a one goal game. I mean, Keshi with the header, and that was how we won that game. Prior to that, we had gone there and played a 2-2 draw against them in Luanda. The one where we didn't make it to the 2006 World Cup, we lost to them in Luanda by 1-0, and then they came here and it was 1-1 in Kanu. So I think maybe it might be a bit um, unfair to maybe or uncharitable to the guys to say maybe they didn't play their best game because look, think about it. Angola have scored 9 goals in this tournament, and it's not like they played some Moi Moi teams. They played Algeria. you know.
Yeah, I know.
So you've got to give them some credit, and they looked really good. In fact, they could have scored early. See that early goal, that early save
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
made. Uh-huh.
What about he made?
Yeah, and then the other one that he tipped that went hit the crossbar, the
Wow.
woodworker, and came out. So it's never easy playing against Angola. So I think we should give the guys credit. They did what they had to do. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, they came out with the W. I think that's the key.
No, I know they did well, but I'm just talking about from what we've seen so far in the tournament. I was expecting to see a bit more. That's just me,
Mhm.
though. But they for
Well,
the team performance, will give
you
them.
can
For me, I
never
give them a
see all
seven.
you want to see.
True, that's true, though.
All
That's
right,
true.
let me just jump quickly to Prince EJJ. What were your thoughts from yesterday?
Um, it's a good thing to be here, guys. But quickly, I just need to talk to Divine. No offense, Divine, for what I'm about to say, but I'll be very critical about this. This just mirrors a lot of Nigerians and their opinions on football. Nigerians, we are so proud and we think we are the best. We forget to understand that when you get on that pitch, you have a tactics, and the opponent also prepares to nullify whatever system you bring into place.
Mhm.
Playing Angola is not easy. You can never expect a perfect performance from our boys. They did well. They did well. And you can't beat Angola by 1 goal to nil and say you didn't play your best. It's not easy. If we had lost that game, it would have been saying something else. I think we're forgetting what it was like prior to the game. Some people didn't even believe we'll win, because of how well Angola have been playing. So I think the boys really did well. I'm not expecting them to give like a 10 over 10 shifts every game. Then you also said something that Iwobi is now doing what he's supposed to be doing. Iwobi has been doing what he has been told to to do all the while.
Mhm.
No one actually enjoys the role Iwobi plays. The role Iwobi has been playing so far in this tournament is very tedious. You
Sacrificial
sit
lamb, in fact.
Yeah, and he has been doing that. So like he really, really deep down, I believe he wants to explore, he wants to, have that free role, but he has to be disciplined. So like the boy actually is doing a lot, and I will say it till date. I said it the other time. Alex Iwobi is still one of the most underappreciated players in Nigeria. Nigerians don't know his value. Maybe when the boy has left the national team before they know
Mhm.
his value. They have this high expectation where they think he has to do crazy stuff like a coach.
Kocha,
Some
because
say,
it's his nephew.
yeah,
Did you
some
see
say he
that
can't.
pass? Did you see that pass he made for the goal? He
Yeah,
skipped
yeah.
the
That
play.
that this is my problem with some people. They don't understand that footballers have different attributes. They always tell every footballer in the academy, focus on your strength, forget about your weakness. You can't have it all. Some say he can't shoot. Not every player can shoot that much, but you need to focus on what you can do. Iwobi is a very, very good technical player. He sees, in between the lines. He tries to uh, take those risky passes, and he's also good defensively. I saw a video where they asked some Nigerian footballers who is the player with the most stamina. Ademola Lookman actually said Alex Iwobi is the person with the most stamina in that team, and people won't know that because his movement is kind of like deceptive. I believe people will give Iwobi his flowers when he has left the team, but overall, it was a good performance. I was happy. And I was most impressed also by Trost Ekong in defense. You talked about Wambali giving the defense courage. Trost Ekong also does his bits as a leader. He's very vocal and he doesn't take any chances. He's not here to play beautiful football. He understands
Mhm.
African football. He knows when you have it, clear it. No time to take any risk. And apart from that, technically, he's also a good ball passer. If you look at that game, he made some very good passes in between the lines too. So I give Trost Ekong his flowers there. I really like the way our wingers played. I said on the other video that if we are going to go far in this tournament, we need our wingers to step up because what Osimhen does, he draws the defender, almost like what Giroud did in the World Cup for France. He
Mhm.
wasn't scoring, but his presence alone there was disturbing defenders and he created room for the wingers and attacking midfielders to do things. In our case, we don't have an attacking midfielder. What we have is wingers. The wingers actually step up and big shout out to Simon Moses for actually playing one of his best games in a long time. He wasn't dribbling too much. He had the ball. He was decisive. He was direct. That's what we want. And moving forward, I hope we become more precise. And for what Divine said about the players clicking, I understand that. But if you know football too well, you know it doesn't happen overnight. Some football clubs have got a set of players who play for months and they still don't gel properly. It's going to
Mhm.
take a long time. This team wasn't built for this Nations Cup. Like they didn't have a long time to prepare. They just brought them together. this formation was
Well,
set.
I think hold on. Let me just first of all on Iwobi, I do agree, and I think if you've listened to his, I think he was the one the pre-match press conference, and
Yeah.
they asked him that question, and he said he said that he does what the coach tells him, which is keep circulation going, maintain control of the game, and just make sure that the team is stable, help the defense with defending, and then move the ball, progress the ball up front. And that's why you see most of the time when Frank Onyeka wins the ball, he tries to find Iwobi, and Iwobi is the one that progresses the ball forward. And
Yeah.
also, there was one, I think was it the last game, the last group game against Guinea-Bissau, or the game against Cameroon, where the back three were just passing the ball among themselves with trying to like get it out, and Iwobi was, I think, somewhere in the middle. He didn't kind of see it on time, and then all of a sudden I think he noticed that they were just passing the ball, they couldn't send it forward, so he dropped deep into that space between them, and immediately he dropped that. Trustekon got the ball to him, and once Iwobi turned, progressed the ball, went forward, and that's how we got out of that situation, because the other team were kind of like pressing them, and so they just kept passing the ball sideways among themselves, just trying to get off that press until Iwobi arrived, took that vertical pass, and turned around, and he was off. So yeah, I agree with you, and I think that the other thing I want to say about the team not being built for the AFCON is I think this team is actually built for AFCON. The reason I say that is because from the very first moment that Jose Peseiro was hired, I sat down with him when they came to the US for that friendly game. And what he's always said, even before he was hired, when Gavon was still in charge and he was supposed to be the one going to Cameroon to observe the team, he always said that his ambition is to come and win the Nations Cup. He has never sidestepped from that. When we spoke to him in the US at the team hotel, he said he wants to win the AFCON. And so I think that's exactly what he built this team to do. If you look at the friendly games, he was doing a lot of testing, trial and error, this and that. But he seems to have found, he started with his 4-2-4, went to a 4-4-2, and then tried a 4-3, this is his 3-4-3, which he appears to have settled down into based on the personnel he has. And that formation is also the reason why it will be probably is not doing the flamboyant that people expect him to do. And look, for me, as far as the team is winning, I'm happy. Solio.
That is the loudest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, you can unmute yourself, Solio. Okay, let me unmute you so that. All right, go ahead, Solio. Solio, can you hear me or not?
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Did you ask me any question?
No, I was asking your thoughts from yesterday's game and going forward.
Oh, okay. Well,
where you are is noisy. What's going on there?
Exactly, that's the point I'm making. It's pretty noisy here, so I just wanted to listen actually.
Okay, no wahala. Let me get to Kingsley. Kingsley, go ahead.
Can I say something in 30 seconds briefly?
All right, okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah, when I was talking about the team not being built, what I meant was like the forward lineup, like them playing together. That's what I meant. Like it will take them a while for their relationship to come. Like it doesn't happen overnight, So as time goes on, they will gel eventually. But I'm not surprised with them not clicking as much as we would want right now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, Kingsley, you're up.
All right, good evening, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, the game was, for me, it was a very good game. Considering where we're coming from the Equatorial Guinea game down to this, I think I saw a very vast improvement, although not where we should be, but nonetheless, a very, very vast improvement of what they played. I think I have to give credit to the defense, the way they've been performing. Although yesterday we had pockets of loss of concentration here and there, which would have cost us. I think the ball hit the bar twice, So if those goals had gone in, perhaps we would have been saying something else today. But apart from that, the defense did well. Then the striking team, I think they are not they're not playing like compared to what they play. I think let me just speak. Lukman Ademola Lukman was more or less a star of the team, shooting as he shoots in Italy. Most time, if you watch Nigeria game over the years, they shoot very well in Europe. By the time they come back to Africa, it's like they've forgotten their scoring boots, and that's why we end up playing frustrating games. We make all the chances in the world, and we can't shoot the ball. So I think that Lukman just saved us that with that excellent goal. Going forward, I think the coach will not need to change his tactics. Fine, he may have I don't know what he will have planned, but seeing that we have built our game on a very strict defense, I don't think we should do anything to change it. Although the downside might be we might start stretching the players so much, because I noticed that he doesn't he has stuck with practically the same starting lineup, which may backfire in the semi-final. Looking at what happened to Osimhen going down with that injury and coming back, that may just be a sign that okay, perhaps we should make our changes early so our players don't get stressed. Because we are getting to the business end of the tournament where if we lose a player, it might spell very disastrous for us. So overall, I enjoyed the game. I watched the other three games in the group stage, and the Equatorial Guinea game was quite frustrating. The Cote d'Ivoire game was a bit better then, and they put it off from there. So if they can maintain the same pace, at least if they cannot get better than this, play the same way against either Cape Verde or South Africa, I think we have a very, very good chance of making the final. That's thank you.
All right. I mean, for me, when it comes to South Africa, I won't lie. I'm never concerned when we play them. Not because of being overconfident, but because I don't believe that South Africa can beat Nigeria in a tournament.
You said
And,
something funny that will feel their lobola.
oh yeah, of course, of course.
They wouldn't like
We wife them. Oh no, I tell them that all the time. We wife them a long time. That always upsets them. But it's true. I mean, when you've played a team like 17 times and you've only won one, and even the one that you won was under God I beg. I mean, you've got to admit that you're not the same level. You're not equals. So when it comes to South Africa, I'm not concerned. In fact, for me, I would wish that they win against Cape Verde because I know that them meeting was a semi-final, great part to the final. So I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned at all. I've got my friend AB.
I think
yeah,
noise is coming out from there.
Yeah, I've muted him. His mic, Soli's mic is the one giving us all this wahala. All right, I've got my friend AB who's here. Very former player himself, not but in fact he still plays even in his old age. And he, how would I put it now? He's very knowledgeable about Nigerian football. He can give you the history of Nigerian football before any of you were born, Seth. So, Ebi, what are your thoughts on the game yesterday, and what impressed you?
Colin, thank you very much for having me here, and I greet everybody on this program. Yesterday's game, I wouldn't say an improvement compared to the previous one against Cameroon. They didn't give their best yesterday. If you want to juxtapose yesterday's game and that of Cameroon, I was really, really impressed with what they played against Cameroon. Really, really impressed. But yesterday's game, okay, but we thank God we got the result, because as what matters now is results, and they got the result. My only minus in yesterday's game among the playing personnel is the FC Portugal.
Zaidu, yeah.
Come on, I don't know if Pesero is scared of losing him out. He can take him. I mean, there's this guy, Kenneth Omero. Omero can go and play behind the Fulham guy, Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey is an attacking minded player. He can do that role better than what Zaidu is doing. Take out Zaidu. Like I was making fun of Zaidu with a friend of mine during the course of the game. I said, Pesero is fielding this guy because Zaidu speaks Portuguese. My friend laughed, No, that is my only minus in that place, man. Zaidu has a business there. He has a business. In 90 minutes, 95 minutes, Zaidu only had two good games or two good instances. The one he tracked down and sent.
I think the what I would say to that is that defensively, Zaidu looks good. It is offensively that the problem comes from as he's playing as a wing back.
That's what I'm saying. You bring Kenneth Omero and Calvin Bassey moves.
I think we saw it happen. Was it not against? Was it against Cameroon? Where Calvin moved there and then instantly, he just went up there and set up something and boom, go. So
so far so good. We can't complain because the results are coming in, But at least once in a while we will talk. But then if the man also sticks with this information, with this pattern and results coming, so be it.
Mm-hmm. My big complaints, to be honest, really is his personnel management.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we could see that by the half-hour mark, and this derives from the high energy, high intensity way they start the game, where they are pressing so high, compressing the pitch, and running with the opposition. By the 60th minute mark, 65-minute mark, Iwobi's legs looked like they were gone. It was now making some wayward passes. Much later on, Osimhen was also looking gas. You could see him bending down, and because of the way he's been pressing. And yet, it took Pesero up until the 80th minute for his first sub. And that was when he brought on Alassane for Iwobi. And then he now waited again until 87th minute before he made a sub. And the rest of his subs were 90 plus. And I'm thinking, I don't understand. Because you listen to him in the pre-match press conference and he's saying, I have confidence in all my players, but I can only play 11. And then after that, I can only play 5. I wish I was able to play all of them at the same time, and then I will play them. Okay. In effect, you're saying that you trust your players. We agree. But what you say and what you do are two different things. If you trust all your players that much that you want to play all of them at the same time, then you are not going to have to wait till 90 minutes before you start making substitutions. I mean, we're one goal up. It's a dicey game. But like I said, if you trust your players, then you trust the fact that those who are coming on will do just as well as those who are going out. So that's what is the dissonance between what he's saying and what he's doing.
Yeah, Colin, you have a big point there. But then, apart from Pesero, what about his backroom staff? Right? If him standing at that technical area does not see everything. Even me watching it on TV, I've always known when Osimhen has gassed out and 2 or 3 other players, right? So your point is you were spot on. The technical his colleagues, the backroom staff should draw this thing to his attention. In football, when you are gassed out, when you are tired, you can't think straight. You can't act fast. And it will show.
Yeah.
It's happening with Osimhen. Osimhen were effective in 45 minutes, 45, 60 minutes. After then, you won't see him again,
Mm-hmm.
The backroom staff should help him, should help Pesero. I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
I will call Fini the judge tonight and put him.
Yeah, I think it's important. See, guys, when I tell you that AB is a master in this game, he is. So he goes way back with Finidi. So you can actually call him and let him know. And for me, that's a really key point because you have quality players on the bench. I mean, we've been talking about how Kelechi Iheanacho has not played so far, and then even when you decide to make the substitution, you don't bring him on. You bring Paul Onuachu. Now, I'm not saying Paul Onuachu is not good, but for like what 3-4 games now where you've made subs, Onuachu has come on. Meanwhile, you have someone like Kelechi who can come on. Kelechi is a better hold-up player than Onuachu as far as I'm concerned. In addition, Kelechi, Murphy is quicker. Kelechi also gives you the extra layer of being able to shoot from distance with little to no backlift. I mean, just pass the ball to Kelechi before you know what's happened, boom, the shot is gone. And it's not just a wayward shot. It's a shot that will go directly to where you want you to go. And we've seen it happen before. So I'm thinking, unless you're telling me Kelechi is not 100% fit, which I doubt, but having seen the training and how he's running around with the rest of his team, alternate. I mean, you've played Paul throughout the group stages 3 times, 4 times. Give Kelechi a chance to come on. Murphy, also the same thing. Why not get Murphy on to use some of that his space and skills to get the defense, panicky and stuff. So it's a bit concerning for me, that personnel management, to be honest, that it's not just happening, and you're burning out the players you have, because for like what is it 4 straight games now we've started with not 4, the entire apart from the Guinea-Bissau game where he rested some of the guys, all of the other 4 games we've started with the same set of players. That's burnout. You're talking burnout instantly. And then you're going to a semi-final match where you're playing against teams like Cape Verde or South Africa who will be running. Like, these guys can run, and you are playing a team that's a very workaholic, or you have built a team that is built on working hard and industry and pressing high, and chasing down opposition. The legs are going to go at some point, and you don't want to be in a position where you're at the semi-final and the final, and what lets you down is not the quality you have, but a mismanagement of your players' physical abilities. Kingsley, what do you think?
Okay, so yes, that's what I told you earlier. I don't know why it's fixated on using the same. This is not a tournament. It's just like a one-off. You don't have to necessarily play like you're in the league where you use the same set of players and you can make up for it in because over the course of 38 games you can also use other games to make up if you lose or so. But yeah, you are playing roughly about 7 games and you're insisting on using the same player. And when the legs want to give way, they can get to the semi-final, and that happens to the key players, and the ones you have not used, they come in, probably not, they have not yet gelled with the team totally, and it's going to affect the team at the wrong time. Now for the substitutions, I don't know why he's not using Kelechi. Kelechi has been sitting there. I don't know if he's going for likes of substitution, bringing in Osimhen for Onuachu. Fine, okay, they are both 9, but I think, like you said, Kelechi will offer something entirely different. You have a Kelechi playing with someone like Iwobi. Kelechi is not necessarily a point man, but his style of play, he can even create more space for somebody like Simon to drive in and do the damage and give to Lukman to score. So I think in the next game, if we can look at starting or bringing in these players earlier than the 80-85 minutes when they'll have little or no effect, that would be very, very good, because number one, a team like South Africa will definitely have a score to settle with us if they make it to the semi-final.
Yeah,
a team like
I don't think you should change the lineup. The lineup is good. What I just think is that manage it better. I mean, like we say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The team has been doing well. They've been winning games. There's no point in changing things. The only thing that needs to be done is by the way, correction, Alassane started the first game and then he was injured, and then Frank Onyeka came. But outside of that, he has started the same team when he has needed to. So I don't think he needs to change the lineup necessarily. They can start the same team. I'm just saying, give the other guys a chance sometime. First of all, so that the starters can get some rest in their legs, and then the other ones can also get some action, so that when you need them, they can deliver for you properly. Prince, I think we're just about to round up. So, what are your thoughts?
Just quickly, I think someone said something like for like. it's obvious that's what he's doing. If you look at the kind of players he's subbing off and the ones he's bringing on, like for like, I feel like he needs to have a different pattern that will make the other players come in. Someone like Iheanacho, sorry to say, doesn't have a place in this current formation because he wants that 9 to be tall, so the 9 can also help when they are defending. But Kelechi Iheanacho can be an attacking midfielder, but this formation doesn't make room for any attacking midfielder, and this man is not willing to put Kelechi Iheanacho as a winger. He wants faster players to play on that flank, and I feel like he has to just come out of that place. Have that other tactics to put you in a bit of discomfort. You have to trust the other players too. And we're talking about the left back issue. I thought before we came into this competition, we had another left back.
Bruno.
Left back. Like, is it that bad that he can't come in and even have like maybe 20 minutes game time? Because from what Zaidu is doing, if Bruno can't come in, that means Bruno is very bad. Then that's what
he's not. I mean, we've seen Bruno play. Bruno's not a bad player. We've seen.
So I feel like you should help us talk to Finidi, to talk to him. We don't want our best players getting injured. He took there was a coach in the Euros the other time who used, was it the Italian coach? He used about the entire 22 players. I think Roberto Martinez or something, or Mancini. Yeah, like, you can give these players time. We don't have to always use Bassi at left back. Bassi is actually better as a left center back. Bruno is fast. Use him. Murphy is there if you need more height or more pace.
Well, the thing is, to be honest, defensively, like we said, Zaidu is a better left back than
he's
Bruno.
He's not a wing back.
Yeah, the only issue is that is going forward. That's the only problem. And to be honest, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right now, I think that the team should, as it is, should start the way it is.
But my fear is injury.
Yeah, it's also our fears. We have 2 games to go, and we need to manage those injuries. And that's why I think that it's not necessarily starting a different set of players, just making sure that when you start them, I mean, normally every coach by the 60th minute mark, 65 minutes, you're already thinking, okay, who's looking gas, who's tired, who's not. So, and then you start thinking of making those substitutions. And I don't think, I mean, especially based on the way we're playing, I don't think we should go past the 70-minute mark without at least making a couple of substitutions, not waiting until 80th, 87th, 90th before when you're not trying to batten down the hatches. All right, we have 2 more minutes to go.
Just a quick question, please. Colin, you've been in this, you've been with the team, like, to some extent. You understand their mentality in a way. The target was semi-finals.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, from the manager's point of view, he's going to relax a bit, knowing that, yes, I've achieved this target? Or do you think he's still going to have that same hunger to keep going and, go for the gold?
Well, let me answer about Colin.
Okay.
As an individual, he's not going to take off his leg from the pedal. No.
Okay.
He will want to go beyond this semi-final target he was given, because don't forget, right now, is a beautiful bride in quotes. It's got the bargaining power now for a new contract, and offers will come from outside Nigeria.
Yep.
So he want to go beyond,
because his contract only runs firmly until the end of AFCON. After that, it's up for renewal. Now, when I say up for renewal, it means that if he doesn't meet his target, then the NFF is not obliged to renew his contract. But if he meets his target, which he has done, then they are obliged to renew his contract, but not forcefully. I mean, if they go and play a woeful semi-final game and lose, the NFF can still fire him. Now, speaking of that, like I said before, his ambition when he said he was coming here was to win AFCON, right? And secondly, don't forget he had a very terrible time with his previous job, Venezuela and Co, where he lost more games than he won. Now he's come to Nigeria. He's taken, like Abi said, he's now taking his resume up one step further, because what he can now go and tell people is that, or potential employers, is that, look, I didn't have the talent in Venezuela and I didn't get paid, but now I'm in Nigeria, I've got the talent, I've got paid, see what I'm able to accomplish. So, and if he wins the AFCON, for him as a coach, it raises, it's an addition to his resume. So he's not going to go there and say, okay, just because I've met my target now, I can relax, and then whatever happens, I'm done. No, I mean, it's not even realistic, for him. And trust me, if he loses the semi-final, and especially if he happens to be South Africa, he loses to, oh my, see all this is we're talking about now, we're praising him now.
You'll be the one to fire him first.
In fact, he will go from 0 to 0 in 0 seconds flat. Like they will murder him. So because look, in fact, it's a lose-lose for him, because the two teams he's going to meet in the semi-final, Cape Verde and South Africa, are teams that everybody expects Nigeria to beat. So all the pressure is on Pesero, not on the other team. The other teams, for them, it's, you know what, no pressure. You know, they're the underdogs in the situation. If they lose, okay, yeah, it was Nigeria. If they win, we beat Nigeria. So going into this semi-final, all the pressure is on one side, and that is Jose Pesero and the Super Eagles. And he can't afford to lose, because I mean, if he loses in the semi-final to someone like Cote d'Ivoire or Morocco or something, you know, you can argue that, oh, you lost to one of the best teams in Africa, this, that. But you're gonna lose the semi-final to any of those two, Omo. all the good work he has done so far, will turn to ashes in his mouth.
I would prefer us meeting Cabo Verde.
Me too.
We've dealt with them before 2 years ago. Collins, remember?
Yeah, sure. I do.
Lagos and forget this their April food showing that you're showing so far in Africa.
Look, see, you know what? I like something that William Troost Ekong said when I was interviewing him the other day. He said that they're not going there to play fancy football. They are going there, when they get on the pitch, is to work hard, make sure they outwork every opponent. Because if they outwork every opponent, then the quality of Nigeria will show. It's only when they go there and they start feeling like, oh, we have the talent and we can beat you, that's when these other teams take advantage. But when they go there and play these teams like, okay, it's just like when a younger person or somebody tries to challenge you and say, oh, yeah, we could go fight, and you're like, okay, I will fight you like my mate. You know, because if you now go and say, okay, let me fight you like, okay, you be a small person, that's when they embarrass you. You know, we always used to have that when we're doing karate, where you're a black belt and you're this, and then you go into a tournament and they pair you against maybe like a yellow belt and even a red belt or a brown belt for that matter, and you're thinking, okay, I'm a black belt, so I can take this one. Omo, they will shock you. But if you go there and you see that person and you look at them, okay, I'm a black belt, you're also a black belt, so let's fight each other like we're both black belts. Then your superior knowledge and experience will now tell. So it's the same thing with guys, and that's part of what I've been doing us before, where we'll go and see a small team, no be this one, no be that one, oh yeah, we don't win the match, you know, and then you go and relax and they come and punish you. But you see the way they've been playing so far. It's like anybody they meet, oh yeah, we are equals. Let's play like let's do the, if you want gra, let's do the gra. By the time we're done with the gra, that is when the fact that we have a much more quality team will tell. And that's what William said. He said, look, player for player, there are few teams in Africa that are as good as Nigeria, that can match up to Nigeria. But the only difference is that some of these teams, because they don't have the quality, then they come in to play and they come in and start trying to, put fight, hustle, fire. And then when you can't stand up to that, then your quality becomes useless. So that's why he's saying that right now, the ambition is get there, fight like we're equals, and then our quality will eventually tell. And you see against Angola, that's what happened. Angola came and they were gra. We do the gra. And then when it was time, Moses Simon with first of all his pace. First of all, okay, let's start with what's his name? Let's start with Iwobi's crossfield ball. Yeah. I mean, those Angolans, we had put to find an Angolan who can play a perfect ball like what Iwobi did. And then secondly, the pace of Simon to get to that ball before the defender even got there. And then the quality to just lift it on time above him, and then cut inside. And then he didn't just rush. He took time, had the vision to look and see that Osimhen was dragging 2 or 3 defenders away from him. And then Lukman was arriving late. And he just put on the plate for him. So those are the things that now separate you as a top team from a lower team when you decide that you want to work hard. And that's why I was saying on ESPN, I said the only way Nigeria will lose is if they don't work hard. The only team right now that can beat Nigeria, that have the same kind of quality to beat Nigeria, is Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah, they're the only ones that have the same kind, and they'll be extra motivated. One, because we beat them in the group stage, and two, because I mean, if they get to the final, they are going to have everybody behind them, so it's going to be like a huge thing for them. So that's the only way. Anyway, I was going to end this at 12:40. We've gone well 6 minutes above time, so I just want to say thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining, and hopefully we will find time and do this again. I don't know when, maybe on the eve of the game. The game is on Wednesday, I suppose. Yeah, the game is on Wednesday. So maybe we can try something on Tuesday. If not, we'll wait again, do it after the game on Thursday when we'll have more time. And again, the tempers would have calmed down. Hopefully, we would have won the game by then. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me, gentlemen, and appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll see you again. Oh, and by the way, Ebi, please talk to Finidi and tell him. Although I know that Pesero doesn't quite listen to. He listens more to his own people rather than
But he respects Finidi George.
Oh yeah, of course he does. He has to. He has no choice.
No, yeah. unlike Ike Shorum, he didn't respect Ike Shorum when Ike was there.
Yeah, true. Ike is a very laid back kind of person. He doesn't like. Same with
Show now. Same with Show.
Yeah, he's also laid back. That's true. Anyway, gotta go.
Ivory Coast has gotten a red card now. Red card.
Wahala. Okay. Thank you very much. As I watch the game, I'm going to referee a game. So I'll talk to Uche again another day.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.